To tell you the truth, I don't have much of an intro planned for this video, but I fell in love with this image of Miss Rita Hayworth in this gorgeous tooth piece. She looks stunning, just tanning and posing. Oh, I can't stop thinking about it, so you know what that means. I have to make it. I believe I have enough scrap fabric in my stash, so I'm going to whip this up as quickly as I can because I have to get ready for a Texas trip that's coming up very, very soon. So let's get started. Come on, everybody, let's go. This is the fabric we'll be using. It is a cotton stretch embroidered fabric. I bought it years ago. I actually made a dress out of this, so I was really happy to use this scrap fabric that I had left. So I started drafting on my mannequin and I placed the darts where the bust would form naturally to the halter top. I'm still very new to draping on my mannequin. I just kind of go with the flow and pretend like I know what I'm doing. I cut out the halter top and then I moved on to the shorts. I used a pattern that I know that fits me well, and I noticed that the fabric was a little bit sheer, so I had a matching white stretchy fabric to go on underneath as lining. I cut out both patterns for the embroidered fabric and then for the solid white stretchy fabric, and I treated them as two separate shorts to combine at the end. To make sure I liked the fit of the shorts, I first worked on the embroidered fabric. I sewed down the inner shorts and the two sides just to make sure that it was the right fit, and it was. I really loved how it turned out, and I knew that the white shorts would be okay. It's always good to just double check. Now this is the tricky part that you want to use when you have a lining for your shorts. You place the front side of your fabric on the inside of the lining of the shorts like so, and then when you turn it inside out, the lining will be on the inside, and I really hope that makes sense. I pinned the waist together, and instead of adding a waistband, I thought I would just add an elastic because I was running out of time. I had to pack up everything and get ready for my Texas trip, which that meant I had to do the rest of the project stitching everything all by hand. Challenge accepted. I started with the darts of the halter top and I sewed them in place on my bed, which is very dangerous. Also, I do recommend having a snack nearby, and Cheez-Its kept me motivated. And here are my hand stitched darts. You can't tell how horrible they look, and I felt like when I pressed them down they would be hidden even more. So I worked on one and then I started with the other. It is very therapeutic to just sit down and hand stitch, but I did miss my sewing machine. Once I finished the two sides of the bust, I worked on the straps of the halter top. I combined the lining, I sewed them down a ½ inch on both sides, and then I had to take a break. I put on my cowboy boots and I went two-stepping, and I had lots of fun dancing, and even Lucas got to have some twirling lessons. So this is what we have going on so far. I know it doesn't look like much, but I hand stitched down the straps that would tie in the back of the neck, and this is the sides that would tie in the back, and from here all I have to do is trim the excess and turn it inside out and iron it, and hopefully it'll hold in place a little better. And same for the straps for the back. Here I'm going to connect it in the middle a little, and then I think scrunch it down with a zigzag stitch. And so far this is pretty easy. It's just time consuming. I feel like if this wasn't a stretch fabric, it would be a lot harder to do, and with it being stretchy, my bad hand sewing stitch is kind of blended in, so you can't really tell my mistakes or how horrible I hand stitched it. I would recommend using a stretch fabric if you want to hand stitch down something as an emergency. It is kind of fun to hand stitch something on the go, or as you're traveling. It's kind of fun. I feel like it's a new unlocked superpower to stitch anywhere. I don't know, that's how I'm seeing it, and it's keeping me motivated. I'm so glad I sewed as much as I could with my sewing machine making the shorts, because that feels like it would be another mountain to climb. So for there, all I have to do is sew down the elastic, which I'm not making a waistband. All I'm doing is turning the shorts inside out, turning the shorts, I'll show you. This is what I was struggling to explain. I folded the waist about 2 inches and I hand stitched down the edge of the fabric just enough for the elastic to pull through. Moving on to the halter top, I noticed that the strap of the halter was a lot thinner than the bodice area, so I added a fold to the bodice, and not so much a dart but a fold, just enough for it to have the same length as the halter strap because I wanted to be even on both sides. There's no right or wrong way to sew. I feel like you can make up your own solutions as you go along, and this worked out just fine. The same thing happened for the side straps. I had to pin it down so it would have the matching length on both sides. Last thing I did was for the halter top where the 2 sides meet, I scrunched up the middle, sewed that down, and I was done. And the next thing I did was get ready. For the hair, I tried to match her hair scarf that she has, and I know I'm no Rita Hayworth, but I tried my best to make it the same as the picture, and it feels like it'd be perfect for the summertime, just to have your hair up and away. Now I must get ready because I'm running late for the grand reveal. Thank you guys for watching. Overall, it was a success. Who knew you could hand stitch a halter top in no time? It did take a long time, but I really love how it turned out. Can't wait to wear it again in the summer. I wouldn't want to do it again, but if it's an emergency, I know that it'll work out just fine. I do feel a little guilty of not hemming the shorts, so I'm gonna do that when I get home because I've kind of had my fill of hand stitching. I want to use my sewing machine. It's so much faster. Please subscribe, and you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I post different content there. See you in the next one, and I'm gonna get back to tanning.